Alright, guys, this is our last QB, and then we're going to get into wide receivers. If y'all didn't check out the last video, I talked about the QB prospect, Jalen Milroe from Alabama. Y'all should definitely check that one out. That's an interesting one. Please like and subscribe, share to people you know. We're giving out some good advice, and we're going to keep on rolling, and we're not slowing down. The draft coming up, especially, I'm excited. But today we're going to talk about the prospect from Texas Longhorns, Quinn Ewers. This is Ricardo Walker here, and let's dive into it. So Quinn Ewers is a 6'2", 210-pound QB. He had over 3,400 passing yards. He had 22 total touchdowns, and he threw for 6 interceptions, which isn't that bad. I'm going to dive into some of his skills, and we're going to look at 3 of his plays from his collegiate career. So first off, I got 3 comparisons for Quinn Ewers. As his floor, the worst he could be is Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi is a guy that's a QB3, doesn't really get any playing time, but he's a very average QB, very mid, but he kind of does everything when you look at his highlights and his aspect of the game. He can scramble, has not that good of throwing strength, which Quinn Ewers is better at. Quinn Ewers has a good amount of strength and power behind his passes, but that's his floor when he gets drafted, Bailey Zappi. Now, average Quinn Ewers, I think he could be as good as Andy Dalton in his mid years. Not prime Andy Dalton, but like Andy Dalton somewhere in the middle of his career. A decent QB who can throw, do his job in a system. You give him an offense, he's gonna run it, and he's just gonna do what you need him to do to help you win games. Nothing too much. Andy Dalton has good throwing motion, good strength, good accuracy. Accuracy is key for Quinn Ewers because Quinn Ewers is a QB that can fit balls right where he needs them. He's gonna put them on a platter for his wide receiver, and if you're the wide receiver, you can trust that he's gonna make the right pass and the right ball placement for you to make that play. But Quinn Ewers, I really think his ceiling, the highest he could get to, is Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was another QB coming out of the draft that was very underrated. I think he was the last pick in the draft. No one really wanted him, but now look at him on the 49ers. He's doing his thing out there. He's scrambling, he's making great passes. He's just running the offense, and the offense is his. He's controlling everything, the pace, and that's really what I think Quinn Ewers can get to if he really like elevates his game to the next level and dedicates that hard work and puts the work in. Because Quinn Ewers can reach Brock Purdy level, and the similarities are definitely there. Both can scramble when they need to. Brock Purdy probably uses his legs a little bit more, but Quinn Ewers can definitely improvise just as well as Brock Purdy. And we both know they could both throw. Both are great passers. So Quinn Ewers and Brock Purdy is definitely a comparison I see as Quinn Ewers' ceiling. Now, some keynotes about Quinn Ewers, some things he needs to work on, is I don't really have too much, but with pocket pressure and decision making under pressure, he definitely struggles. He struggles when he's pressured in the pocket, and when he's pressured by that defensive line or a blitz, he kind of just goes blank and doesn't know what to do. So he's going to end up getting sacked, or he makes a bad pass that ends up being picked off. So those are definitely things I think he could work on. And besides that, I really think his game translates pretty well to the NFL decently. He's kind of basic, but hey, who doesn't like a basic QB that gets the job done? So now we're going to jump into some of his plays at his collegiate career. So on this first play, you're just going to see him sit in the pocket, and he's just going to fire a deep ball straight to Xavier Worthy. You see the arm strength there. You see how he does that throwing motion. He gets the ball down there, and you see how he gets it ahead of the defender and not to where Xavier Worthy is. He gets it to where he's going to be, and that's why Xavier Worthy runs straight to the ball, and the ball placement is perfect on that pass. Deep strength. That was like a 60-yard, 55-yard pass, and you just see that deep accuracy there, that deep ball and the arm strength there by Quinn Ewers. And then on the second play, you're going to see Quinn Ewers just hike the ball, and real quick, you see that middle linebacker blitzing him right up the middle. So he evades that blitzer, and he sees that opening right up the gut. He's going to run, and he's going to scramble to end up eventually scoring a touchdown. And that's where I'm saying he has the improvisation skills. He can do whatever he needs to in the moment when he knows that something's coming. He's just gonna run, and he can use his legs in situations of need. And he's actually kind of fast. When you look at that play, you see how he just gets right up that hole, and the defenders can't catch him. He's gonna score a touchdown. Then on this final play, they're at like the 5 yard line. He's gonna hike the ball, and you're just gonna see him plop it right over the defender's hands. You see that ball placement and accuracy right there. This Quinn Ewers can really put the ball right on the platter for his receivers. He puts it right in the breadbasket. So you see the defender is not making that play. He just can't, because Quinn Ewers puts the ball only where his receiver can catch it, and all his receiver needs to do is put his hands up, and he finishes that play. But I like how he throws it to the back shoulder on the outside of his wide receiver and not on the inside where the corner can make a play on it. That's just a great pass by Quinn Ewers, and that's what he really does and excels at. Now I'm gonna tell you guys about his outlook in the NFL and what teams are probably gonna draft him. So Quinn Ewers is a QB that is definitely at all not starting. He's gonna be a QB that's just gonna be on the bench and probably excel when his time and number is called. And nothing bad about that, but I don't think he has the talent and skill right now to be a starter coming straight out as a freshman. But the two teams looking to draft him that I think are going to draft him are Saints and Raiders. And for the first one, for the Saints, I think we all know why. Because of Derek Carr's apparent shoulder injury, they only have Spencer Rattler as their backup QB. And I think they're going to be looking to get another QB, different skill sets. Rattler's more of a scrambling guy, more of a dual threat. And I think Quinn Ewers is going to be a QB that could run the plays better than Rattler, and he's going to be more of an in-system QB. And they're probably just going to experiment with those two. So I definitely see the Saints drafting him. And then for the Raiders, I mean, Pete Carroll just brought over, what's the name? Geno Smith. And Geno Smith is Pete Carroll's guy. We all know Pete Carroll is going to start Geno Smith. Geno Smith's going to do his thing. But the Raiders are definitely going to want to get a younger guy than Geno Smith. Geno Smith's going to be 32 this season. And they're going to need a young guy that could to hand over the torch and can carry this Raiders offense. Raiders in a rebuild, but I think this draft is going to be a big draft for them. Because they could get Ashton Genty at the 6 and then build off of that and pick up a guy like Quinn Ewers. Their offense could be scary in the next couple of years. Quinn Ewers on the Raiders, I can see Pete Carroll developing him, and he's going to refine his skills, get him to make the right plays, and really put Geno Smith under his wing. And when he learns under Geno Smith, man, I see Quinn Ewers definitely improving his game. He's going to be a starter in the next couple of years if he goes to the Raiders. Those are the two teams I like Quinn Ewers going to, and that's my NFL outlook for Quinn Ewers. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Quinn Ewers is not a QB I'm really high on. I think he's going to be a bust and an average QB at best, but hey, you never know. This is why he could be the next Brock Purdy. He'll probably surprise me. And if he does, remember I said this. I'm still not high on him, but if he does surprise me, I'm not going to be mad either. Quinn Ewers is a pretty basic QB, but that's alright because he always gets the job done. That's our last QB video. Hope y'all enjoyed all of the QBs we did. And on the next vid, we're going to be talking about wide receivers. See y'all.